Time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, now that's referring to the house of God, to the place where wheat and tares grew together, to saved and unsaved. By saying judgment begins at the house of God, God is indicating that it's not just the righteous, not just those that are elect or saved. No, he's judging them because there's masses of people that are not saved, that have perverted the gospel, that have brought ruination to the church, and that's why he's judging them. So it says the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. If it first begin at us, the corporate church, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? You see, obey not the truth. It's said in Romans 2, like the man who obeys not the word. The gospel's another synonym for the word of God, the Bible. What shall the end be of them that obey not the word of God, the Bible? And you see, two tribulations, two parts of the righteous judgment of God that God is revealing. And it's a very painful process as he's revealing it to us slowly, step by step. First, the 2300 evening mornings of the first part of the Great Tribulation, followed by the 23 years, and now another extended period of time, a prolonged judgment day of perhaps as many as 22 years or 23 years inclusively. And we're weary, and I include myself in that. We're tired. We're ready for it all to be over and done with, for everything to be completed. We're ready to go to heaven, to enter into the new heaven and new earth. We've done the will of God, yet now God requires patience of his people while he carries out this last leg of the journey, while he has his people appear before the judgment seat, and as he judges them that obey not. He already judged the house of God, and now the judgment has transitioned to them that obey not the gospel, or unto them that are contentious, Romans 2:8, and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation and wrath, tribulation and anguish. We have to carefully read this. See, God is saying unto them, that is, this is what is coming to them that obey not the truth. There will come tribulation, and that's the word, typical word for tribulation, and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. Now, again, if we're looking at Matthew 24 and God speaks of Judea, how do we understand that? A reference spiritually to the church. The Jews are types and figures of the church. And Romans is being written well after 33 AD, several years after, a couple decades after, in all probability. God isn't concerned about the Jew or bringing tribulation to the Jew any longer. Who's he concerned with? The church. To the Jew first is a reference to the Christian church, the New Testament churches and congregations, and also of the Gentile. The word Gentile is the Greek word that really means Greek. It's Helen. It's not the typical word like for Gentile. It is the word Greek, and it is a word that represents a person of the world, or to, just like the Jew would be the Christian church, the Gentile or Greek would be the world. There is tribulation, in other words, that God will bring in his vengeance, in his final judgment, in the day of wrath. And this is what he's revealing. There will be tribulation to the Jew first, that is, of the church first, and following that, of the world, the Gentile, the Greek. 2 tribulations, 2 tribulation periods. And that's, of course, what we've been seeing and learning, and the Lord has been revealing to us as we've been gathering biblical evidence and learning these things. And now we see a focus on the year 2033, emerging biblical evidence mounting for that date, which very neatly would bring together these 2 tribulations and to a concluding point. Well, I'm not sure if we'll come back here again. We might discuss this again in another Sunday study, but for now we'll bring this study to a close. Thank you for joining us, and for spending time with eBible Fellowship this Sunday afternoon.